Have you heard about James McAvoy's performance in the upcoming film Speak No Evil? He gives new meaning to terrifying and will scare you speechless. The film is filled with teeth-clenching, seat-clawing suspense and will haunt you forever. Be careful who you trust. Universal Pictures and Blumhouse invite you to Speak No Evil, only in theaters September 13th.
Your 2024 just got bigger because Six Flags Over Georgia's biggest sale of the year is now extended. Save up to 70% on daily tickets, 2025 season passes, and more. With a season pass, you'll get access to brand new haunted mazes like Saw and Stranger Things at this year's Fright Fest, and enjoy Holiday in the Park and other popular events. So go all out with our biggest sale of the year, now through September 15th. Visit sixflags.com to buy now.
For exclusive podcasts and more, sign up at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
Ooh, okay. Moira McClellan? Okay. Cornwall. Is that the whole thing of Cornwall, Prince Edward Island? This week's Law & Order Marathon winner is Moira McClellan of Cornwall, Prince Island. This week's Law & Order Wow. Good morning. This week's marathon winner... This week's Law & Order Marathon winner is Moira McClellan from Cornwall of Prince Edward Island in Canada. Moira will get a marathon decal showing she watched 26.2 hours of her favorite crime show. To be next week's winner, sign up at lawandorderpodcast.com. Please don't make me do that one again.
I'm Kevin Flynn with Rebecca Lavoie and Matt Reuter, and these are their stories.
You think you know who did it, but you don't know who did it. Law and order, law and order, law and order. It's no ordinary police procedural, baby. It's the FNOG of police procedurals, baby. Law and order, law and order, law and order, law and order. These are their stories, these are their stories.
Welcome to These Are Their Stories, the podcast about Network TV's most enduring crime franchise and the real-life cases that inspired their shows. I'm Kevin Flynn. Each podcast will break down an episode from either Criminal Intent, SVU, or Original Recipe, and today we're looking at Special Victims Unit, Season 3, Episode 3, Stolen.
Back in '89, a woman named Jennifer Talmadge was found murdered in her apartment, ligature strangulation. Her 4-week-old son, Stephen, was missing from his crib. Case is still open.
The murderer or the missing kid?
Both.
Joining me to do just that is true crime author and the host of Crime Writers On and Netflix's You Can't Make This Up podcasts, Rebecca Lavoie. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Kevin.
And rounding out the panel is our special guest from the Law & Order Special Viewing Unit podcast. Hey. Welcome back, Matt Reuter.
Hey, thanks, guys, for having me back. Lovely to be back to discuss this. It's an episode.
It's an
on
episode.
SVU.
An episode.
So, Matt, you in your podcast, you've been doing SVU, but you've been doing it in chronological order.
Oh, my God.
And You started 1 and you're on season 15. So tell me, how do you think the show has changed?
It's interesting. So I think I said this right before we started recording. So we're at the very tail end of season 15 now. So
what's happening?
Oh, God. So baby John Doe, I guess. I don't know. It has not been named because Olivia has not officially procured the baby yet. She's procured several other babies that may or may not be alive or in a basement
a lot of baby
somewhere.
procuring, including this episode.
False starts.
Yeah. And there's Johnny D. And right.
And we just did the episode that's going to be coming out next week is where her and Cassidy, I think, officially break up.
In a weird kind of soft way. Yeah.
The I love you breakup.
I love you.
I love you too, Brian.
Yeah. So like we watched that and I was like, they broke up, right? And we were both like, I think we're going to just see if he just doesn't show up anymore, that I guess it's a breakup. So
like, will they go to the museum still or won't they?
Yeah, we covered that episode and I think the title even had like a question mark in it about like, did they break up? I don't know. Yeah, it's a funny season.
Yeah, I forget. But, Cragen is gone. So, Liv is the head of, or she's the acting sergeant, I guess, and, got the baby thing going on. So those are the big kind of broad, Rollins is fallen off the wagon numerous times with her gambling problem, which that's a whole thing there, I guess, that it's the gift that keeps on giving. And I think next week's episode is the final appearance of William Lewis. So I think that ends that whole saga, which was something.
Wild.
I guess.
No, it's not the final appearance.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
no.
If only.
Oh God! Oh, don't tell. No, you are breaking my spirit right now. Don't tell me. It would have to.
So, Matt, of all the franchises, which two cops are your favorite Law and Order detective team?
Favorite Law and Order detective team.
When last time I was on, we had gone through this, and I had gone with Green and Briscoe, and
you're in the wrong podcast for you.
I know. Frankly, I'd seen Original Recipe. That was my introduction to the Law and Order, all of the franchises, because at the time when I was watching it, SVU wasn't around. That premiered in '99, I believe. So. I naturally gravitated towards that. Obviously, SVU, I probably like more than Original Recipe at this point. Although the longer these seasons go on, it gets a little wobbly toward the later seasons here of SVU. It's funny having the retrospect to look back at all of these seasons, especially ones that we hadn't seen before, and being like, all right, Benson and Stabler were great, but then they don't age well, or specifically Stabler doesn't age well.
No.
Correct take.
Yeah, so it's kind of difficult. Like, I love Finn, at least at this stage that we're at in season 15, because he seems to be the only sane one on staff anymore. I guess I'm gonna have to stick with Briscoe and Green, but it's only because everyone else seems to have aged that much worse.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Love Liv, but boy, she's making some questionable decisions these days now that she's in command of the unit. And it's just, the leadership doesn't look good on her, I will say.
Well, if you were a little iffy on season 15's cast, wait till you get to season 25.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Can't wait for you.
All right, now let's take a look at the first half of this episode. Special Victims Unit, Season 3, Episode 3, Stolen. Benson and Stabler respond to a grocery store where little baby Emma was snatched from her mother's shopping cart.
How many other mothers were in here when it happened?
7. Ms. Darachek eyeballed every one of those babies. Where's she now? Back in the manager's office, beating herself up. Her husband's on his way.
Witnesses?
Nobody saw it happen.
Security video captured a woman leaving the store with a roller bag. Finn and Munch trace a stolen credit card to Alicia Brown, a crack addict who recently lost a stillborn child. There's no baby in her apartment, but she admits to selling Emma to an adoption agency attorney named Mark Sanford for $10,000. Olivia and Elliot find Emma and 2 other babies in his nursery. And so ends another 7-minute episode of Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Sanford said he had no idea Alicia kidnapped the baby. Though he's scamming parents on the bills for his services, all of his previous adoptions were perfectly legal. While going through a ledger of his transactions, Cragen recognizes an adoption that corresponds to a case he and the late Detective Max Greevey worked on 12 years ago. Jennifer Talmadge was strangled and her infant Stephen vanished. Jennifer's college roommate says Robert Cook was the likely baby daddy, but by the time she tried to let Cook know, he'd already proposed to his girlfriend Linda, who he also knocked up. Cragen and Munch visit the recently divorced Cook, having a good old game of catch with his 12-year-old son Brandon. They ask him to come to the station to determine whether he murdered Jennifer and whether Brandon is his kidnapped son. Well, you don't have to be a genius to know that when Mother Michelle parks her grocery cart by the discount cookie end cap and then walks all the way over to aisle 6 to get an armful of baby formula, that's a bad idea.
No, not a good idea.
Excuse me, where's the baby formula?
It's around the corner. I'll show you.
Why not bring the cart directly in front of where you're picking the things up rather than walk 20 feet the other direction?
That's why they have wheels.
Listen, we all saw the TV movie Adam. And
she didn't.
I was going to say, well, everyone except for what is even the character? The character comes to nothing ultimately. So it's like, what's her character name? I don't even remember.
It's Michelle with one L. Yes.
How did you know that?
Because I have IMDb. I researched the fuck out of these episodes.
All right, I don't even remember them ever saying her name out loud.
But I remember them saying the baby's name Emma because when the baby goes, she turns around and starts yelling, "Emma, Emma!"
Stay right here.
Emma! Emma!
As if this 6-week-old infant is going to go, yo, over here.
Yeah, just raise your head like, oh, no, that's my bad. I'm here.
That baby's not going to respond. She has no object permanence.
She does not. That is very important.
Also, literally every baby born in 2002 was named Emma.
Pretty much,
like
yeah.
Every single one. Every girl in my son Teddy's class was named Emma.
Really?
Every daughter of every friend of mine in my baby group was named Emma, including the daughter of our best friends.
You mean Emma?
Emma.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like every year they put out a list of like, this was the most popular baby name. And I always wonder where they get that information from. Because it seems to bear out. But do they just like call a bunch of hospitals that are like, all right, give me the names from the birth certificates? I guess.
Yeah.
Then that's all organized on a
birth
database.
certificates are like state documents, man. That's like database shit.
So the goal is if you have the most popular name the one year, you want to avoid it the next to try to even things out because you want to be original.
Yeah.
Yes, Braxton, you do.
So in order to sneak off with Emma, the kidnapper left behind in the bathroom a sedative, the clothes Emma was wearing, and to hide her gender, her little pink bow still attached to a ponytail that was this long. And clearly the writers have never seen a baby.
Nope. Not once.
It was a Munchie baby.
6-week-old baby head, not even close. That was longer than the rat tail that Eddie Jakowski had when we were in 10th grade.
I mean, they try to yada yada it because there is kind of a throwaway line whenever like the beat cop is given Benson and Stabler the rundown where it's like, oh, and hair long enough to be in a ponytail. It's like, okay, that's a load-bearing line right there.
It's not how baby gender works, guys.
No. First off, it's all fuzz, right? I mean, some babies' hair is darker. You don't get your permanent hair start growing till like the 3rd month.
Yeah.
But still. Because later on, they find the baby.
That's right.
And you see its head, and you're like, there's no way that bow was sticking to that skull.
No. Oh, 0% chance of that.
And have you ever seen somebody who has aspirations to like make their baby daughter's head look like a girl baby? They just fucking stick a bow on like that bald ass baby's head, and it looks so stupid.
Yeah, you get like a headband thing going too.
What are you doing? By the way, no judgment out there, moms, but I'm totally judging you right now. That shit looks dumb. It looks dumb. It's not cute. It's dumb. Just let your baby's head be round. Just like if you're really hell bent on signaling that your gender is a construct child, is in your head a girl, put him in a pink thing or whatever. Do not stick some giant thing on its head. It's uncomfortable for everyone, including me.
But I like how the kidnapper's like, if I just cut this bow off, they'll never recognize her. So why don't you just like glue a mustache on her and something, and like, oh, not the same baby.
It's me.
It's me, little baby Mario. And when Tony the father shows up, Michelle says,
I took my eyes off her. I'm so sorry.
It'll be okay.
It's way past Emma's feeding. I know she's hungry.
Emma's got to be hungry. It's way past her feeding. Well, why are you just buying the baby formula now?
It was urgent. That's why.
All right. When Tony the father shows up, she also says, how could this happen? Michelle, to be fair, I know how it happened. You fucking walked away from that.
How? How about why? How about why it happened?
If you clocked how long she had turned her back, it was legitimately only like 4 seconds.
True.
It would not be there was a lot of things where it's like, but why did you do it that way? But, that short amount of time, and of course they're like, well, it only takes 1 second. It's like, all right, thank you for proving your thesis in this case right now by saying that.
Matt, I went to a gas station today. I left my car at the pump. I took my keys into the gas station when I bought that protein bar. I'm just saying, I wouldn't even leave my car alone for 30 seconds. Like, people know not to do that.
Yeah.
Even in 2002.
So Benson says to Cragen that they're getting photos of the infant out.
Photos of Emma are going out to every toll booth and police department within a 100-mile radius.
To all the toll booths. Because if someone's going to get a good look at an infant in the backseat of a car that's not equipped with an easy pass, it's a toll booth attendant.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Doug. Let me see that child before you move on.
Yeah. Notoriously, the most observant people on the planet are the toll booth workers.
In what seems to me like should have been the first thing to do, Finn and Munch asked the security guard if they could see the surveillance video.
Oh my God. That was my first note where it was like, Why is that not the first thing? Like, hey, there was a snatching. There's security cameras. You know what can solve this problem? Watching what happened and following the person out that took the baby. Why is that not your first stop?
Yeah, and so what they see is an actual woman taking the baby from the cart, then moments later leave the grocery store dragging a roller suitcase. Now, I might not assume if I'm another customer there's a baby in there, but I'm pretty sure it's filled with cigarettes and Captain Crunch.
Yes, 100%. I've had the fortune or misfortune, depending how you want to put it, working retail in my life. And anytime someone would walk into a retail establishment with a roller suitcase,
right,
they were the most watched person, because why are you bringing a suitcase into the store if not to just steal as much as you possibly can?
Monkey and a basketball, baby, and a fucking carry-on luggage. I mean, these guys.
Love them.
So they're able to identify this woman as Alicia Brown, who sold the baby for $10,000.
Good price.
Yeah, her caseworker. Yeah, well, I guess it's, I mean, for her. I mean, the caseworker said that Alicia has a crack cocaine problem, but if she's got $10,000, she doesn't have a crack problem yet. The mom had a baby formula problem. Alicia is $11,000 away from a crack problem.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, and realistically, it's not really a crack problem. For her, it's really more of a crack solution.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's a $10,000 richer crack solution.
Yeah. All this leads Benson and Stabler to a brownstone.
What are you doing? Last number you just dialed was a 911. Who are you?
I take care of the babies. You're going to wake them.
This very large nursery is in there with several babies, and Stabler pulls out a snapshot of Emma, and he goes, baby to baby, to make an identification. Why does he think he's good at that? He's not a toll booth attendant. All right, we have a, hey, it's that girl.
Yes.
Hey, it's that girl.
Who is the actress playing the grandmother, Margaret Talmadge?
Our daughter was taken away, and now you're telling us that we can't have our grandson.
Her name is Celia Weston. She's had roles in Modern Family, Memphis Beat, and The Thing About Pam. But you'll remember her as the sassy waitress from the 70s sitcom Alice.
Oh.
There you go.
She was in Flo. Kiss My Grits. I guess that was a really bad insult back in the day. Kiss My Grits. That actress was Emmy and Golden Globe nominee Polly Holliday. And then she left the show and was replaced by Diane Ladd, who got an Oscar nomination playing Flo in the movie Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Yeah.
And Celia is none of those things.
Okay.
She was the replacement for the replacement on the back end. I guess she's kind of like the Velasco of Alice, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get that joke in about 6 more seasons.
You
now.
will.
Yeah,
You will.
I'll come back and be like, hey, I got that joke from years prior.
But can you tell me the name of the actress playing Michelle, the absent-minded mother?
Yes.
Rebecca?
That's Carrie Green from Lucas and Goonies.
Oh!
I feel blessed every day because I have Emma. I love her so much. Am I ever going to see her again?
Carrie Lee Green. Yes, but if you're going to say, is that Andy from the Goonies? That is Andy from the Goonies.
Oh my God, she was also in Lucas, where she fucked Charlie Sheen and not Corey Haim.
Corey Haim wasn't in that one,
Yes, he was. He was in Lucas. He was Lucas in Lucas.
Oh my goodness.
Not Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, the other Corey.
She got all Corey'd up. Yeah. This is actually her last TV appearance. She was also in the ABC After School special, Private Affairs.
What was that? Wait. Tell me what that was about.
She was an illiterate toy maker. No. She played a teen who discovers her father is having an affair with her mom's best friend. And she decides to keep quiet in exchange for a new car.
What?
I made that part up.
Oh.
I'm trying to improve the after-school specials.
It's believable, though.
To be fair, that's a pretty good deal.
It is, yeah.
I mean...
Wait, what kind of car?
Rebecca, I don't know. Alfa Romeo.
Like a Saab? Like a Saab?
No,
like in
it's
the
a sporty
90s?
car.
Like I would have done that.
It's the kind of car Andy would drive.
A Saab. Andy would have driven a Saab.
Yeah.
Like a 990, right?
Yeah. Carrie is married to John McGinley, the actor.
What?
You know him? He was Dr. Perry Cox on Scrubs.
Yes.
And he was in Platoon, and he was Stanley in Stan vs. Evil, co-starring Tat's guest, Janet Varney.
Wow.
Oh,
crossover.
Nice.
Ultimate crossover.
Yeah. Which of the Goonies today has the highest net worth?
Sean Astin.
No, actually, it's Josh Brolin.
Oh, yeah. Thanos.
Josh, estimated worth between $35 and $45 million. Sean Astin Rudy himself, as you say, comes in second between 10 and 20. Oscar winner Ke Quan has the lowest net worth, even lower than Corey Feldman.
But most Oscars.
Yes. Way more Oscars than anybody else. Third on this net worth list is Martha Plimpton, who gave me a shitty look when I tried to talk to her at a book launch party in New York last year. So we have a Hey, It's That Guy.
Hey, it's that guy.
Can you name the man playing Tony, Michelle's husband?
1 minute everything's okay, the next Michelle's crying and throwing things. This is the first time she's been out of the house with him. I'm worried.
Yes, I actually can.
Who's that?
That's Ted King from Charmed. He played Leo on Charmed.
Oh, that's what you remember from, Rebecca?
100% I do. I watched Charmed.
I thought you would have recognized him as mobster Louis Alcazar on General Hospital.
Yeah, he totally played Alcazar on General Hospital. Alcazar was a great character. He was married to Carly. He had a ton of fucking dick swinging everywhere on General Hospital. But he also played Leo on Charmed, which was a huge, huge role for him.
But you're skipping over the best part. He was Louis, but Louis got killed off and he came back as his brother Lorenzo
Alcazar.
Yeah, that's amazing to me.
Alcazar was a great General Hospital character, and everyone wants him to come back. Everyone thinks that maybe this character who's on now, who's banging Carly's daughter, might be Alcazar's son. It's a whole thing.
Well, I think he's pretty much tied up with The Bold and the Beautiful right now. He's been doing some guest work there in 2022 for his guest performance on The Bold and the Beautiful. He won a Daytime Emmy, which we can all agree is the Shasta Cola of Emmys.
Shut up.
I like Shasta. Hey, you lay off of Shasta.
Also, stop shitting on the Daytime Emmys. They're just Emmys. You have a regional Emmy. That's the Shasta Cola.
Pretty much. We've got some repeat offenders.
Repeat offender.
Returning is Bruce Altman as Mark Sanford.
I've never knowingly put a stolen child up for adoption.
Last year, he played the mayor with the vendetta that forced Jack McCoy out as district attorney. He's a McCoy killer.
Oh, no. Can't be in favor of that.
And playing the attorney's attorney is Josh Pace and his slappable face.
My client is a distinguished member of the legal community.
28 Law & Order Universe appearances. He's probably best remembered as the deputy commissioner who liked child porn.
Yes.
Matt, did we spoil that for you?
You did, because we just got to the episode with Alec Baldwin where he comes in and says yeah, you get to be the press guy that does a profile on Liv. And we were like, wow, this guy.
Buckle up, friend.
Oh, boy.
Buckle up.
He does have a very punchable face. I'm not going to lie.
So punchable.
Oh, my God.
Did you recognize the actor playing Adam Blake?
Mark Sanford told us it was all legal.
I remember he plays the character of Halfley, the Republican Speaker of the House in The West Wing.
Wait, is Halfley the guy who is also an alcoholic along with Leo and sees him at or is Halfley the guy in the Walkout episode where they have the shutdown?
The Walkout episode.
I love that episode. That's my favorite episode of The West Wing.
That's great. You're both wrong. That's John Sloman. This is his first television appearance here. He's had bit roles in Entourage, Grey's Anatomy, Parks and Rec, and others, but you may remember him from his recurring role in Mad Men. He played Raymond Geiger, the executive from Heinz.
Okay.
There was a lot of tension on the proposed ad campaign. This is a direct quote from the show. The way beans are funny, we can't use that. We have to fight it, actually.
Farting?
Yeah. Meantime, Don Draper was cool with Lucky Strike cigarettes. That was fine. Beans, though.
They're toasted.
The magical fruit. Yeah. Did you recognize the actress playing Erin Blake, the mom?
No.
For God's sake, he's our son. You can't just take him away after all these years.
Okay, that's Ellen Parker. For 10 years, she was Maureen Bauer on Guiding Light.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't watch that one.
No, you didn't? Oh. Well, in 1993, she won a Daytime Emmy Award, which we can all agree are the Amazon Essentials of Emmy Awards.
Stop it. Those clothes are great.
Just saying. A burglar recently got a 12-year sentence for climbing into her bedroom window while she was sleeping there.
Wow.
She screamed. He fled. This was the description she gave. She couldn't say that he was tall and thin, so what she said was, he looked like a Giacometti sculpture. All the cops who were familiar with Swiss surrealist artists were right on this case. Like that? Gotcha. Lastly, can you name the actor playing Officer Robbins, the cop who found the baby clothes in the bathroom?
No.
She found these baby clothes in the garbage can here.
That's William H. Burns, also known as Detective Hollywood. 27 Law & Order Universe appearances. At the time, he was a real New York City police officer.
Oh, weird.
wow.
Yeah. He retired in 2003. After 21 years, he worked in the Real Special Victims Unit and the Homicide Unit. His side job, or his second career, he wanted to be an actor. So he's got a lot of roles in, doing just this. Let me run off some of the things on his resume, some of the roles he's played. Officer, policeman, police officer, arresting officer, narcotics officer, cop, beat cop, uniformed cop, uniformed cop, uni number 3, sergeant number 2, Sergeant O'Hara, parole officer Sanchez, and just to show his range, bailiff. Man, I love it when a white guy can play against type.
Yeah.
When they finally catch up to lawyer Mark Sanford and arrest him, he says,
Look, I have nothing to say without my attorney present.
I thought you were an attorney.
Yeah, how does that work? I thought that was kind of like,
like belt and suspenders, right?
Yeah.
And he gets an attorney, and then later on he gets a completely different attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while going through Sanford's business ledger, Cragen recognizes one of the birth dates as that of Stephen Talmadge. So he explains, over a very romantic dinner with Munch, it appears, how this case goes all the way back to season 1 of The Mothership.
But you didn't know Max Greevey. He was my sergeant when I ran at 2-7. He caught the case, worked it like his own kid was missing, until he was murdered on the job in 91.
This thing's been kicking in the ass for a dozen years.
Stephen is still alive.
Max Greevey was Logan's partner in season 1. He was played by George Dunza. And if you thought the stories about Michael Moriarty were about him being a problem on the set, well, let me introduce you to George Dunza.
Oh, boy.
He was miserable, apparently, the whole 1 year he was on Law & Order. The actor, otherwise known for checking out Sharon Stone's Beaver in Basic Instinct, thought that being the lead on Law & Order was going to make it the George Dunza show.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not the way Law & Order works. It did not... He lived on the West Coast. He always had to fly back and forth. And he and Chris Noth fought all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And at one point, George would not come out of his trailer because he thought Noth slighted him. So they were all outside, like begging him to come out. And he was very jealous of Moriarty. He thought that was the better role. He liked to say that Moriarty gets to kill the bull every week. So when he decided to finally quit the show, Dick Wolf was more than happy to have a body double come on and shoot him in the back of the fucking head. Cops occasionally get shot on Law & Order, but no one's got tagged like that.
Like straight execution style. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. Boom. Right in front of his wife, too. While she was on the phone with Logan. It's a great scene.
Mary, Mother of God!
My God, that is perverse.
Ugly. He's not coming back like in the later season.
There's no chance.
There's no like Greevey return. No.
Nope.
That's grisly.
By the way, just another piece of Law & Order trivia. Dick Wolf nearly cast Michael Madsen instead of Noth as Logan.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah. The network wanted James Naughton from Planet of the Apes to play Stone and Eric LaSalle from ER to be Robinette.
That would have been great.
It would have been a different look, wouldn't it?
Oh, isn't Eric LaSalle also a prick? From what I understand.
It's a scale. It's a range, though. It's like, well, yes, we're all on. It's just it's how much of a dick is he?
Yeah.
Did Eric LaSalle ever quit over facts? I mean, that's
no.
That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So Cragen apparently has maintained a relationship with the missing baby's grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So to show that they never gave up hope, they take him to what would probably have been Stephen's room to show him all of the presents they continue to buy in case he comes home someday.
We celebrate Stephen's birthdays, buy him presents every Christmas.
This is his room. So you see, Captain, we've never lost hope.
Okay, not only is it they wrapped all of these things too. There are still bows on this, and it's like the extra level of effort to wrap the present. I'm like, you feel for these people in some way because it's like it does convey that they are actually torn up and everything. But part of me was like, I mean, it's been 12 years and you're still wrapping these presents. I kind of feel like...
Do you think they wrapped it and like put it under the tree and then like sadly picked up the boxes and then carried them up to the room and left them?
Yes.
Wrapped?
I'd like to think so, yeah.
They're like, oh, look at this. He's like, oh, he'll come home and say, look, a football. Look, a bike. Look at the Fisher-Price See and Say.
I'm 20 now.
What? Yeah, I'm 20 now.
And do they think he was going to be living with his grandparents for the rest of his life? Yeah, it's a little weird.
Well, it's supposed to convey their longing, even though Cragen also says they stopped asking me about this like 3 years ago, so even they gave up hope, yet they keep wrapping the presents.
Yeah, they didn't give up hope, they just gave up talking to you about it.
There is this incredible scene where Cabot tells Cragen that he's way too emotional about this case.
Yeah.
Way too emotional.
You lost your cool. You are too emotionally invested in this case.
Damn right.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
act that out with me, Kevin.
Well, I'm Cragen?
No, I'm Cragen.
All right. You're being way too emotional about this case.
If I were Cragen, you know what I would say?
What?
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Right? Is that not exactly that scene?
It pretty much could be.
It's one of the greatest lines.
It could be. I know there are a lot of Cabot Benson shippers out there that would have loved that. Yeah.
No, the response, again, looking at a lot of these episodes in the wake of a lot of the policing things that we've been talking about over the past, several years, no particular reason. Whenever Cabot's like, you're way too emotional, his response is, damn right. It's like, no, that's not a compliment, Cragen. That's saying that, like, you shouldn't be doing this. You are compromised.
Meantime, Stabler goes, Cragen, I want to see you in my office.
At the UPS Store, we understand the importance of a first impression. That's why we're here to help you put your best foot forward and be unstoppable with our printing services. With high-quality paper stock options, banners, business cards, venues, and more, we make sure your small business stands out and your message reaches the masses. After all, we're the one-stop Prints That Pop store. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
Walmart has Straight Talk Wireless, so I can keep doing me. Like hitting up all my friends for a last-minute study sesh. Or curating the best pop playlists you've ever heard in your life. And even editing all my socials to keep up with what's new. Oh yeah, I look good. Post it. Which all in all suits my steady poppy main character vibes to a T. Period. Find and shop your fave tech at Walmart.
All right, now take a look at the second half of this episode. Robert Cook says he knew Jennifer Talmadge had been murdered, but he never received her letter or suspected her missing baby was his own.
Jennifer showing up with a kid would have put a crimp in your big plans for the future.
I broke up with her. I didn't kill her. I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Her roommate said that Jennifer sent you a letter.
I never got any letter.
Mr. Cook, can you prove Brandon is your son with your ex-wife?
Of course I can.
DNA tests from Brandon, Cook, and his indignant ex-wife, Linda, all confirm Brendan is not Stephen. Finn discovers paperwork that shows it was Jennifer herself who put Stephen up for adoption with Sanford. But her parents say that's not her signature on the document. Sanford tells Cragen and Cabot that it wasn't until after Jennifer's murder hit the news he realized he'd given up the baby to Adam and Aaron Blake. The captain and Munch tell the Blakes their adopted son Tyler is the missing child, and we all need to go downtown and sort this out. Robert Cook says he wants custody of the son he never knew. So do the Talmadges, who've been searching 12 years for their grandson. But Tyler wants to stay with the Blakes. As the custody battle between Cook and the Blakes begin, Cabot volunteers to serve as legal guardian for Tyler. Her takeaway from the proceeding is that all three parties are suitable parents and two of them will be crushed. That's when Benson and Stabler uncover an interesting clue. When Linda Cook gave birth to Brandon, her hospital roommate told her about Sanford's adoption practice. Cragen later confronts Linda, accusing her of intercepting Jennifer's letter, then killing her and secretly giving the baby up for adoption. Meantime, the family court judge says the law grants parental rights to Tyler's biological father. Outside the court, the Blakes, the Talmadges, and Cook start a discussion about how Tyler can be a part of everyone's lives. As Cragen leaves the court, he makes eye contact with Tyler, who seems to say, Thanks for nothing, asshole.
I think it's like a Kill Bill moment right there, where it's like, if you're still sore about it in however many years, you can come see me about it. It's like, Cragen, there is a clock above your head because this kid is going to grow up and murder you for ruining his life.
Hundo.
But yeah, once he sees all the bicycles that are, still in the wrapper, I mean, he's going to be so excited that things went his way.
I mean, he's going to be like, I gave up my family for this fucking set of this, for Boggle? What the fuck, man?
So the former Mrs. Linda Cook is really pissed that she has to give DNA to prove her son isn't her kidnapped child.
Yeah.
Linda.
Don't. You kept it in your pants.
We were kids.
And now we're murder suspects.
This is not the time.
And she's mad at her ex-husband. She says to him, you couldn't keep it in your pants? Well, why are you so high and mighty? He knocked you up at exactly the same time.
Literally, from what we understand, a week later, 1 week, 7 days later, they weren't even dating. It was like, or either that, or he was like, I don't know, I kind of had a lot of irons in the fire at that point. It's a real Mamma Mia situation. I don't know whose baby is this? I don't know.
That guy was like, that was the best week of my life.
My sperm was incredible.
I was getting all over, yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting that there, hitting it over there.
College was great.
So Munch and Cragen go to the Blake's house to let him know that Tyler is actually Stephen Talmadge. And I'll tell you, Tyler's friends are real assholes.
I love Tyler's friends.
Danny, Brian, Tyler, outside. Hey, you guys looking for Tyler? The way he played second base was a crime.
Tyler's friends are just like our kids' friends when they're like assholes in like the best possible way. They come over, they like clean out the fridge. And then they're like, see you tomorrow. They're like those kids. I love them.
It gives the vibe of like, he's the hangout house. Like the parents are cool with everyone coming over type thing.
Yes, because his parents are nice. And his parents don't give them shit about like, what they're wearing or what. The parents are just like, just hang out. It's fine. You can like have a fucking fruit by the foot. It's fine.
A push pop. Yeah. Sunny D, of course. Gotta have the Sunny D.
Yeah, not that purple stuff. Sunny D.
No, not the purple stuff. Yeah, wait till his friends, they'll find out that he's adopted.
Oh.
Like, Eddie Haskell's going to totally clown on him, by the way. Yeah. And by the way, do you think, like, when he has to move out, like, the kids will keep coming over and saying hi?
Yes, because his parents are cool.
Do you have any Sunny D, Mrs. Blake?
Well, really, when you think about it, you're going to be doing it for the sake of Mrs. Blake because now they're empty nesters, so they need to have some sort of kids running around the house.
Oh, that sounds especially heinous in the making.
R.I.P.
So because she doesn't have enough to do, Cabot says, hey, I'll represent Tyler at the custody hearing. So, in her...
Pro bono.
Pro bono.
Does she say it was pro bono? I didn't remember her saying pro bono. She says, I'll do it.
No one's paying her. Who would be paying her? Him? He's 12.
Yeah. Matt, by the way, you're doing this episode pro bono. Thank you for your charitable contribution.
Damn. I was going to send you an invoice later, but, whatever.
Oh, feel free to send it. It'd be just like Jennifer's letter. It's going to be intercepted by my crazy wife, and someone's going to come kill you. So what she's trying to do is she's like, figuring out what does Tyler want? He wants to stay with the Blake. So in order to help make her case, Cabot brings in Wong.
Bring in Wong. He's not wrong. Bring in Wong.
You're the only person who dances every time the music comes on.
Oh, that's not true. Matt's bopping his head. It's a bop.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, so she asks Wong, what would the effect be if he were taken from the home that he's grown up in?
If Tyler was forced to live with his biological father, how do you think this would affect his life?
That would be akin to waking up in the morning and learning that his parents have been killed in a car crash, a sudden traumatic loss.
Or, and stay with me on this hypothetical, learning your mother was murdered and you were kidnapped and spirited away. Just saying, tomato.
Like, what the fuck do you think he's going to say? Like, he'd be fine if once he learns that his entire life has been a lie. It's okay. That's the part of this where, like, the judge isn't just like, all right, look, we get it. Everyone wants this kid and everyone seems like they could do a reasonable job with it. They keep trying to like pit these families against each other and they kind of refuse to take the bait. Because every time like that, it's like, I didn't have the opportunity to raise my son. Like I would have loved to. I would have loved him. And they're like, well, don't you think it's kind of shitty that you're going to tear the kid away from them? And he's like, 100%. But what do you want me to do?
They seem so nice.
Yeah, we're here now. I don't know.
Like, that's the thing. There's like no conflict. Like he doesn't seem like he's not going to let them see him. And nobody ever seemed to have asked, hey, adopted parents, if he stays with you, would you be cool if he also had access to his real dad whenever he wanted to see him, nobody ever seemed to raise that question ever. It was either live with him or live with them. Like that binary situation. It was really fucked up.
I mean, Cook just went through a divorce and this custody thing. Like we see he has 2 boys. You know about visitation, right? Because it's you could have...
You've been there.
Yeah, you've been there, Share and share alike.
You are actively participating in what this arrangement could be, which is joint custody.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you seem to be pretty good at, Mr. Throwing the baseball in the backyard.
Yeah, and also Cabot has that line, I have to fight for what Tyler wants. And at 0 point in time does the court ever bring Tyler up to be Tyler, what do you think? What do you want?
No.
That should factor into the judge's decision, you would think, specifically because Cabot says that's exactly what the point of this whole hearing is to what the kid wants.
Also, when he's 12?
I would have really liked it if the grandparents just insisted on calling him Steven to just get under everybody's skin. No, Steven, don't call me that.
He's 12, right?
Yeah, I think that's
12.
what they said. Yeah, 12.
I hate to break it to everyone. In 2 years, no one is going to be able to control wherever the fuck he wants to go. He's going to be bigger than all of you.
Well, he's also going to get on that bike and just ride away.
Wouldn't it be ironic if he got a job at that supermarket? Stacking shelves. Yeah.
Give me that story in an extended Dick Wolf universe of where are they now type things. That would be chef's kiss.
Yep.
Yeah. So Robert Cook wins the custody battle and Tyler runs crying into the Blake's arms and they try to comfort him and the father says,
"We'll see you when you come over to get new stuff, okay, buddy?"
It's just bleak. Just fucking bleak, man.
I already got some cardboard boxes from the liquor store. You can fill up your things.
When you come get your shitty secondhand clothes because we don't have a lot of money.
It's not like he's been out of sleepover, right? Don't worry, you just got a couple of things.
Yeah, because then I want his dad to be all right, here's what's going to happen. So he has a suitcase that you guys bought him, but it's his technically because you bought it for him. So we're going to take that.
I know somebody who has a roller bag that she's not using anymore.
Yeah, it's available. The roller bag that started it all.
Yeah.
The best part about this scene is as he is hugging the Blakes and they're saying, "Oh, it's all going to be okay." The dad is in the frame and he looks like he doesn't know if he should turn around to try to address what's happening behind him. So he's just kind of awkwardly looking forward, but he's looking around I don't know what I should be doing right now. Should I
Should
me?
I be celebrating?
I was awarded the kid, but he's doing that. So this is just awkward. I don't know what to do here.
That's not bad acting. That's not bad writing. That's bad direction.
Yes.
Fair.
Give them some motivation for the last
I was awarded a child
seconds.
who hates me. What do I do now?
Well, in the end, it's kind of implied that he'll have relationships with the Blakes and the biological grandparents are kind of having a discussion, but he's going to go home with Cook. But can you imagine what the conversation with the half-brothers is going to be like? Hey, your mom killed my mom.
Yeah.
But I never knew her, so psych!
Okay, so your custody arrangement is also now fucked up, guys. So you also have to go get your stuff from your mom's house.
That's right. Also, in the end, he gets all the kids.
That's right.
He gets all the kids.
Congratulations.
He wins.
Well, also, does he have
a big enough house?
A third bedroom for this, or a fourth bedroom, I guess, for this kid?
He's
it's
like
not really
Mike
established.
Brady all of a sudden. He needs a Carol.
Jesus. He went from having 2 kids every other weekend to now my 3 sons.
Yeah. And 2 of them are exactly the same fucking age. It's incredible. It's an incredible situation.
Oh, man. The BO in that house.
Oof.
My Wrangler jeans from Walmart are legit my favorite go-to pants. They got that slim cut that's always fresh for going out.
Hey, what's up?
They're durable enough, even for my shift.
Order up.
And stretchy enough for when I want to kick back and chill with a movie. So basically, they can do it all, and on my budget. I mean, come on. You really can't beat all that. Shop your Wrangler pants at Walmart.
Temp check. What kind of summer are we having? A family road trip summer? A beach bum summer? Or a wake me up when the sun sets summer? With Instacart, skip the shopping side quests. Where available, get ice cream delivered to your hotel, sunscreen to the pool, or cold brew to your bed. Well, door in as fast as 30 minutes. Wherever you are this summer, get the goods. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Allbirds or Magic Spoon, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is the businesses behind the business making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And here's the not-so-secret secret. The Shop Pay feature boosts conversions up to 50%. That means way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. Shopify will help you make sure your commerce platform is ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Pandora, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Pandora to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/Pandora.
All right, let's take a look at the real-life story that inspired this episode. It's time for Rip from the Headlines.
You think you know who did it. You think you know who did it. But you don't know who did it. You don't know who did it. Rip from the Headlines.
Plot points for this episode come from the 1998 kidnapping of Allyson Dalton. The baby lived with her mother and grandmother in Strasburg, Virginia. While the grandma was at work, the body of Sylena Joel Dalton was discovered in the apartment by an aunt. She'd been stabbed 5 times in the chest, apparently while taking a nap on the couch. 10-week-old Allyson was missing from her crib, and several baby bottles had been taken. A neighbour reported seeing a man putting a baby in a truck that morning. Sylena had been seeking child support from her ex-boyfriend. Daniel Pompel was scheduled to take a DNA test to establish paternity. Pompel admitted to visiting the apartment the morning of the murder, but says he left when no one answered the door. Though a likely suspect in the murder and kidnapping, police say Pompel has always been cooperative with the investigation and never ever named him as a person of interest in the crimes. In 2021, authorities ran new advanced DNA testing on evidence from the scene, hoping to generate new leads, but they've never revealed the results. Family members hold out hope that Allyson Dalton is still alive somewhere, living her life as a 26-year-old woman.
Now, we cannot speculate on who murdered Selena Joe, but Daniel Pompel says he went to the apartment around the time of the murder, around the time a neighbor saw a man put a baby in a truck. He says he knocked on the door, but never went inside. Does that have the ring of truth to anyone?
No. Next question.
Next question.
I was going to say. Is that a serious question or?
Yeah. So, I feel like the taking of the clothes and the baby formula is a clue that this wasn't a premeditated kidnapping.
Yeah.
Because, the culprit didn't seem to already have those items.
Yeah. Well, actually.
Well, I feel like, again, not having kids myself, but I feel like those are things that you can never have enough of.
Let's gore in this. Let's really gore and Eames this.
So here's the thing. If I actually did plan to take a baby, I would want to take some of that actual baby's clothes because the clothes would be for that baby. And I'd be like, opportunity, there's also some formula here. So why wouldn't I take that?
If you are of the mind that the theory of the case is that someone wanted the baby because they wanted to raise the baby on their own.
Yeah, take the shit that's right there.
No, you think that the day before they have no crib, no infant
yeah, but why not take some of the shit that's right there? Just saying, it's right there.
If it's handy.
Yeah, it's right there. And also, the clothes fit that baby.
Maybe the baby was hungry at the moment. I don't know.
I'm backtracking. This baby's alive.
The baby doesn't need tailored clothes. The baby.
I am backtracking. This baby is now 30. This baby is working in a grocery store in New York, stocking shelves, or is a detective with a special victims unit, placing babies in the wrong homes everywhere.
Yeah, in the year 2000, Selena's mother sued Pompel for $1.5 million in a wrongful death suit, but it was dismissed for lack of evidence. So in season 1 of In the Dark, about the Jacob Wetterling case, Madeline Barron's takeaway was that when a cold case is solved, authorities love to look back at all and say, all those years, we never gave up. Instead of admitting what those years really were, a failed investigation.
Yes.
Why is it so hard, Matt, to just say that investigation failed?
Yeah, I hate to say this, but it's, to me, at least, ego. It's just when you're in a position of authority, because, I mean, and I think that's ultimately the difference. If you're a cop versus a doctor, a cop, you're an agent of the state. You are entrusted with powers. You are literally given the power to murder someone if you see fit and will face no consequences for that, as we have seen. If you're a doctor, you take a Hippocratic oath where you're like, I will not harm anyone. So if it happens, that's the basis of this. So I think it's just when you're in a position of authority and you show that you can't do your job, it's never that you can fail. You have to reframe the narrative, because if you were to come out and look at the rate that crimes are solved, specifically murder rates in any major metropolitan area, the percentages are not high. And if you just came out every week and was like, yeah, we fucked that one up too. I don't know. Pretty soon people are going to stop asking you to keep doing what you are entrusted to do, because they'll see that. So you have to spin it. We never gave up hope. There are technological advances. X, Y, and Z happened. You need to maintain some variety of public trust. And the way you don't do that is to continually tell the people you are supposed to be protecting and serving that you can't do your job. Because
there's a difference between saying we never gave up versus we never stopped actually looking into this.
Right. Well, no.
Because, I mean, the truth, it's like, yes, it's on somebody's desk, but...
Just say we were busy with other stuff. We were busy with other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I also don't see, what's terribly wrong. I mean, it might be disheartening, but it's also understandable that you can't have one person look at the same case for 20 years.
Right.
There's not, it's not unreasonable to say, well, other things had to come along, and, we're always hoping that we catch a break, and we caught a break.
Yes, true. Very true.
So Allyson Dalton is still on the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. They updated her database entry in 2023. It says that Allyson's age is 26 and that her height is 1 foot 8 inches.
Oh, jeez.
And she weighs 8 pounds.
Oh, goodness.
Man, at least Stabler's snapshot was recent. That's going to do it for us. We want to thank our special guest, Matt Reuter. Matt, where can you be found?
We are, you can find our podcast anywhere that fine podcasts are sold. Specialviewingunit@gmail.com is also our email address if you want to get a hold of us there. And that's all we got.
Rebecca Lavoie, where can our listeners follow you?
Well, you can listen to Crime Writers On. That's a great place to find me. That's what I would say right now. Listen to Crime Writers On.
You can find us at Law & Order Pod. Follow us on Instagram at These Are Their Stories Podcast, or like and subscribe on YouTube and TikTok. Our newsreader was Cy Frater. Our theme music was composed and performed by Uncanny Valleys. Content assistance from Travis Roy. Lily Flynn handles promotions. All clips in this podcast were used in compliance with the U.S. Copyrights Act fair use exemption for criticism and commentary. Go to lawandorderpodcast.com and sign up for our newsletter for a chance to be our next Law & Order Marathon winner. These Other Stories was recorded in Studio C and is a production of Partners in Crime Media.
Partners in Crime Media.
Walmart has Straight Talk Wireless, so I can keep doing me. Like hitting up all my friends for a last-minute study sesh. Or curating the best pop playlists you've ever heard in your life. And even editing all my socials to keep up with what's new. Oh yeah, I look good. Post it. Which all in all suits my steady poppy main character vibes to a T. Period. Find and shop your fave tech at Walmart.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Allbirds or Magic Spoon, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is the businesses behind the business making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And here's the not-so-secret secret. The Shop Pay feature boosts conversions up to 50%. That means way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. Shopify will help you make sure your commerce platform is ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Pandora, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Pandora to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/Pandora.